Hey folks, it's been a while. I'm sure you saw the Halloween Oddware video. But now I'm going to do a few computer updates. I haven't made videos in a while just because I've been busy and I really haven't been in the mood to do so, but yeah, I guess I just needed a break. You burn out on this stuff sometimes. But hey, I'm back and I have a few things to talk about. You may notice my desk setup looks slightly different. I've brought the Topre keyboards back out again, both in the other room and in here. I like the Velocifier VMO1 with the brown switches. It's a very nice keyboard, but I miss the feeling of Topre. I really did. So I brought this back out, and that's the keyboard here. With its red color scheme, it looks a bit like an old computer, which I really like. And I have taken the advice of one of my viewers who said that these sort of fabric wrist pads kind of suck. I agree with him. I have ordered a pleather one, and I'm going to use that. So whenever it arrives, that's going to be replacing the Staples one, because these fabric ones get really disgusting after a while. I don't know what I'm going to do about the mouse pads. I kind of like a fabric mouse pad, so I might just leave this as is. Speaking of which, I have got a new mouse, as you can see. This is the Ducky Secret. Very, very nice mouse. All of the settings on the mouse are controlled with the mouse itself, not through software, and that makes me very happy as opposed to some of the Logitech ones. I really like that you can control everything about this mouse without touching a piece of software. A lot of it is holding this DPI button down and controlling a few things, but yeah, I got the Ducky Secret, about a $60 mouse straight from Japan, and it's a very, very nice mouse. Ducky can make a good mouse. I really like it. So that's the mouse I've been using, and I've been very happy with it. The higher DPI is very nice for shooters as well. This isn't really a computer update, but material for a future video. I did get a Fire HD8 tablet, and I've been very happy with it so far. So I might do a video on that in the future if there's anything interesting to talk about. I think that most people know what these are. They're Fire tablets. You can install the Google Play Store and then put your own apps on here, and that's essentially what I've done. So I might do a video on this at some point if I can make it interesting. If not, just know that these are nice and I like them. So there is that. What else is there to talk about? There are other things to talk about. I should also mention for this setup, I also got a new chair. I got a really nice Lazy Boy chair for $150 on clearance from Staples. And the chair is made of wood and bonded leather, which is a lot better than the really thin pleather that was on the Staples chair I used to have. This desk is a little bit sharp on the edges and was digging into it and ripping it. And this seems a little bit more resilient, and it's a lot more comfortable. Way more comfortable. These Lazy Boy chairs are fantastic. So, I did get one of those, which is kind of nice. But anyway, onward and upward with the computer stuff. I did mention the other room. Well, I brought another Topre keyboard out in here. This is the Cooler Master Nova Touch, which I also got a custom set of keycaps for. Brought this guy back out because the Velocifier 10 keyless keyboard I've been using here, I had problems with the shift key. If I pushed it in the corner too much, it would poke out of its cherry mount stabilizer, and then I'd have to press it hard back down for it to go back into place. And that was really getting aggravating when symbols and capital letters weren't working on a consistent basis. So what I did is I brought this one out, the Cooler Master one, and I love this keyboard. Very nice. So I brought that back out. This is one of the pleather wrist rests that a viewer mentioned to me. I don't know if any of you guys remember. I did in my Velocifier keyboard videos. There was one guy that really hates brown switches, but he also offered me advice on the subject of wrist pads and how much better the leather and the pleather ones are. And I agree with him. I took that suggestion and I ran with it, and I bought this thing. And this is a very nice pleather one. I got this one on eBay for like $8 or something. I forgot how much it cost, but it's very nice. It's a lot easier to clean than the glorious gaming wrist pad. That thing is terrible. These are much better, so I recommend those. I also got a new mouse for this room as well. I ended up getting a Logitech G500S refurbished for $35. So and this allows me to use the weight cartridge. I forget if I mentioned before, but that Ducky mouse is also weighted. This is weighted as well, which makes shooters so much nicer. So I got a G500S for this machine. So I've been digging into peripherals a little bit more. I plan on getting a monitor for my main computer at some point. I need a 1440p monitor. I've asked my family for that for Christmas, so we'll see if that happens. If not, it'll happen later. You know, one way or the other, it will happen. So there you go. That's been these two computers. All I've really done is swap out peripherals. My main computer is exactly the same as it was before. The Linux machine in here is different, though. I decided to take out the 750 Ti graphics card and put in the RX 460. Now, why is that? Linux is sort of going the other way in terms of the way I use graphics. NVIDIA is not being very cooperative when it comes to Wayland support. Wayland is the display system that's replacing Xorg. And AMD and Intel, as far as video, are being very friendly to it. So I've put my AMD RX 460 in here, and I'm using the AMD GPU driver on Debian with the backport kernel, which currently is kernel.4.13. And the performance has been very good. I've played Counter-Strike Source on it, I've played Urban Terror on it, I've run Second Life on it, and the only real issue I've noticed is in Second Life, if you turn the graphics up really high, much past high and towards the ultra territory, the advanced lighting model does not work. I get invisible flickering stuff everywhere because it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't support the shaders that the advanced lighting model needs. That, to me, I think is a driver issue. It happened on both the R7 370 and the RX 460 that I tried in this machine. So that, more than likely, is a driver issue that will iron itself out over time, because I'm sure other games support that. Well, Second Life's a metaverse type of thing, but other games will probably need that feature to work, so hopefully they'll get that fixed at some point. Shader support. They've only started doing this open source driver since 2015, I think? Yeah, 2015. That's how long the AMD GPU driver's been around, so it's not very long. I think eventually it will be like the Intel driver and just work, and, you know, not have problems like that. But give it time, and I think it'll get better. Using the backports kernel is the exact reason. This driver is exactly why I'm using the backports kernel, because I get fixes and updates by using that particular kernel. So that's what I've done with this machine. I've stuck the RX 460 in there, and it's done a fantastic job in Linux. AMD cards in Linux have come a long way. Since 2015, it's been a lot better than it used to be. I will say that. Plus, the way NVIDIA drivers work on Linux is a bit weird and not the best. NVIDIA kind of likes to go their own way a lot, whereas AMD and Intel like to really just stick with what's built in. And the good news is the AMD card in this will work with Wayland whenever that becomes the new desktop standard for display systems or video systems, or whatever phrasing I'm supposed to use for that. So this is an all AMD system now. It's a Ryzen 3 1200 with 32 gigs of RAM and the RX 460. So yeah, ever since the drive died in here, that's pretty much been the only change. I do plan to put a second 2 terabyte drive in there that I'll probably purchase this Black Friday. And yeah, that's what's happened with this computer so far. And that's about all I've changed, and it's been working quite well, so good stuff. And we come to the main subject of this video. The other stuff was a bit arbitrary, but this is what I wanted to talk about the most. This is going to be an upcoming video, I hope. For a while, I've wanted to build a 486 machine. I had a Gateway one, as you guys saw in a previous video a couple of years ago. It was a 486 DX266 based machine, and that computer had an HP CDRW drive in it, which was actually a benefit at the time, because that allowed me to use CDRWs with that system, and that's mainly why I wanted that in there. Unfortunately, those drives are known for kicking the bucket, and that one, like all the others, kicked the bucket in a very violent way. Somewhere in the power delivery system, something went very wrong, So wrong, in fact, that it zapped the motherboard of the gateway. The IDE controller was just done. Done. Absolutely done. Wasn't working anymore. So that machine got scrapped. I kept the RAM and the chip and all the other stuff I could use, cards, all that stuff, and junked the machine. And I decided, you know what? I want to build a very standardized 486 machine. I don't want any special form factor. I don't want riser cards. I don't want any of that crap. So I went ahead and got this. I found this one for $50 over in Europe somewhere. I can't quite remember where I bought this from. But here it is. It's a baby AT486 board. It has built-in IDE and floppy and all that stuff. It has some PCI slots. It has some 16-bit ISA slots. There is a Dow's clock chip there, but it is backed by a coin cell battery, which I like. There's an AT keyboard connector on the back. There's some cache there, I guess. And it came with an AMD 486DX280 in it, which was an upgrade from what I had. I had a DX266, so the 80 is a nice welcome upgrade. It has a UMC chipset on it. So, and I've heard good things about UMC, so hopefully this will be a good board for that. I haven't had a chance to test this yet, so I don't even know if it works. It also came with an S3 Verge/DX onboard graphics card. So that's good. I don't need to hunt down a graphics card. I can just use this one. Plug it straight in and use that. And it's not VLB. There's no VLB stuff. There's just none of that. It's just straight up PCI and ISA. Very simple. Very to the point. And there's the jumper arrangements there. I don't have a manual for this board, so I really don't know how to handle all that stuff. Here's the back of it. I don't know if that's a model number or what it is, but yeah, hopefully this board can do its thing. The main obstacle of this is finding an AT case or a baby AT case, preferably a baby AT case. So that's the last obstacle to getting this together. I've asked around. Someone I know in a Facebook group does have some new old stock ones. I don't know if any of them are baby AT. I think they're all regular AT, but I might partake on that. I'd prefer to get a baby AT case, though, just so for space concerns and the fact that I'm living in an apartment. But, I even asked B Bishop PCM about cases because he happened to have that 99-cent PC, and he mentioned in a video that he was going to try to sell it, but talked to him. He said that he was going to hang on to it for a little while longer because he's got some projects and whatnot, and he wants to play with it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I'm still on the hunt for a case. Unfortunately, Craigslist and eBay are not good for this. Well, eBay is actually pretty good, but most of the good cases are overseas along with the motherboards. So I might be stuck doing that or asking that person in the Facebook group for a little bit of help. So essentially, I need help tracking down a baby AT case. I specifically want a baby AT case. I will settle for an AT one, but baby AT would be preferred. So that's what's going to happen there. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this, because since it's close to Christmas time, I'm going to be a little bit short on cash, I think. So yeah, I don't know. But I like to figure this out and get a good build going. I've got a CPU for it. I have a brand new Channelwell power supply, AT power supply for it. I would have just used this one that I took out of that gateway, but it has keyed connectors, and I don't want to mess with that. So what we're going to do is just go as generic white box as I possibly can. Definitely high treason approved. I know he likes his white box machines over the OEM machines, and that's essentially what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's my plans for a future video. So that's been some computer talk and some updates and whatnot for October of 2017. It's currently Halloween when I'm filming this. This will probably be published a little bit later, but yeah, that's what's been going on lately. Not a whole lot, but this is a really fun project I really want to get done. So hopefully we'll get around to that soon. We'll have to see. I would like to add very quickly that I just got this in the mail. I got the, I finally got my pleather wrist rest. It's just like the other one that I showed in the other room. Very nice to type on. I don't know what I would do about the mouse pad. These actually being fabric is a good thing because it's nice and comfortable, so maybe just clean these thoroughly. But this being pleather is an improvement. I like it. So figured I'd mention that I actually did get this, so yeah. About that previous slot about how we were going to build a 486. Well, I have to edit the video at this point because that's not going to happen. Notice how I've taken the RAM and the CPU out of this board. I gave it a test, and it's a dud. You turn the power supply on, and you can get no response out of it. Nothing. So there's something wrong here, and like literally, I've been trying to put together a 486 build for a couple months now, and nothing has gone right. Absolutely nothing. Bad boards. I mean, life just does not want me to own a 486. I had a rogue CD drive kill the Gateway one. I got a really nice heatsink for a 486 that didn't get delivered properly. The power supplies that I've pulled to use for this board haven't fit properly because they were keyed and proprietary and weird. I just haven't had good luck with 486 stuff. I have had a hell of a time getting an AT case as well. And now this board is dead. I'm done. I'm just done with 486s for the time being. Maybe I'll be more open to them in the future, but I'm just really salty at the moment. I'm done. I have so many Pentiums right now, and Pentiums are better than a 486 anyway for a lot of the DOS stuff. They'll run like Duke 3D and all that just fine. So I'm done. I'm done with 486s for now. We're done. I have other vintage machines that we can talk about, so that's not a problem. We just won't be doing a 486 build, which is a shame, but anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there. And it's a shame, but these things happen, I guess. I was speaking with High Treason not too long ago, and he's told me that these boards are hit or miss, and unfortunately, I missed. So, thanks for the advice, bro, but it didn't help my luck, I guess. So, yeah, I've got a pile of dead stuff that needs to go. Here's a switch that doesn't work. Here's a CD-ROM drive that doesn't work, and now here's a 486 board that doesn't work. I'm having all the luck, aren't I? Yeah, there you have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Not the best ending in the world, but hey, there you go. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao.